frying pans, jump drives, and so many secrets. So many secrets. Just another week in Salem. Stay tuned as we dish this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives.
You're tuned in to Afterbuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Dishin' Days, AfterBuzz's Days of Our Lives after show and review. I am joined by one of my fabulous friends to my left.
I'm dancing. Hi, everyone.
She's on something.
Tammy Cavea.
Hello, Tammy.
Hi.
Tammy is the woman that every man and woman want to be.
I am honored.
I'm honored. So welcome.
I shall wear the crown.
Welcome to our show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, Dishin' Days, and Twitter, _Dishin' Days. The @ is implied. Also, comment below if you are watching on YouTube and give us a 5-star review so you have a chance to be our Fan of the Week. Woohoo! We love our Fans of the Week. And be sure to tune into our other Soap Block shows, GH Report and Restless Rap, if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We've got some great soaps.
And subscribe to AfterBuzz Dramas, where you can find after shows and review shows for all other kinds of dramas, like Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
And I just want to call out that this is my 1-year anniversary, 1-year Dishin' Days anniversary. Actually, it's tomorrow. My first show was August 6th, 2017.
Yeah, so that was way before me.
Attaboy.
Yay, congratulations.
You guys kept me around.
Happy anniversary.
Good for me, yeah.
Standing, yay. Woo.
You can send your gifts to Michael Mattis, care of After. Actually, no. Don't send me gifts, just Venmo me money. How about that? All right, so Tamala.
Yes.
What'd you think of Days this week?
You know, I was thinking about it because we ask that question every week.
Every
so
week.
what'd you think about Days? So I was thinking, this is what makes soaps so good, is when you find everybody fighting for their lives emotionally.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like a gun to the head kind of thing.
Right.
Fighting for their lives emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with Eve, fighting for her life emotionally.
Yeah.
Obviously, Abigail and Chad fighting for the relationship, fighting for their lives. Gabi, Kate, fighting for their lives. Everyone, the stakes are so high.
Right.
It's like, yes.
This is all leading to something, and I feel like, we're getting some forward movement with the storylines. This was not an info week by any means. There was definite movement in the storylines, which we all like, and I feel like it's leading to an event, possibly John and Marlena's wedding.
I was just gonna say.
I feel like that's going to be like an umbrella for some of these storylines to.
It'll be a catalyst for
Yeah.
for several storylines.
But what exactly will happen, we don't know. We got to watch. We got to find out. So should we start?
Let's start.
Tam, will you flip the hourglass there, please?
Let's start Dishin' Days.
Okay.
Yay!
That was something.
Fabulous.
All right, so we start off with Brady, Eve, Eric, Jennifer, Victor, and somewhat Maggie. So
Our former Rockette.
a former Rockette.
Was that the best piece of history ever?
Yeah,
I
she's
love that.
fabulous. She's been fabulous her whole life. So, started the week with Jennifer confronting Eve and Victor.
Yeah.
Jennifer being like, "What are you going to handle me for?
Yeah,
How are you going to handle me?" And Victor wasn't having it. He just kind of was like, "You know what? Yeah, we did it. So what? What are you going to do?" And Eve was like, "Dude." And then Victor was like, "Y'all deal with it. Bye."
I know, but I love the conversation between Eve and Victor before Jennifer came in, and he's yelling at her like, "What are you doing, woman? What is wrong with you?" And what was the quote?
He's so mean to her.
What did Victor? This is my quote of the week. Victor to Eve: "Unlike us, that Horton woman has a conscience."
That Horton woman has a conscience.
I was like, oh my god!
I know.
Another brilliant line from Victor.
They give him the best line. So then, Eve and Jennifer are left to their own devices, and
I can't believe she told Jennifer.
Right?
I
was like,
believe she told her
I was
that.
like, well, she's friends with Chloe. It was only a matter of time before she starts spilling tea like her BFF Chloe. And yeah, just told her everything and was like, okay, you go and tell Brady about this. I go and tell Eric about this, and then he's going to go run it for Nicole, and you're going to lose your man.
And I just loved Jennifer's expression. What do you mean?
Well, I know. Like,
Why did
'Cause
he
she's
break up
clueless.
with her?
Right.
Just the whole reveal was
Yeah.
precious. It was spot on.
It was great.
Spot
so
on.
so this week Eve took the crown as the tea spiller of Salem.
Oh my gosh. And again, it goes back to fighting. I mean, she
Yeah.
is just doing anything she can.
That was a strategic, because at first I was like, why is she telling her that?
And
Then I'm
did
like,
she say that to Victor? I had to dig into my arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to do it.
Right, because there was another scene between Victor and Eve later in the week where it was the same, like, going back and forth,
Yeah.
and it's just so funny to
Well,
watch.
you know, she
They
was
play off
convinced.
each other
Eve
so
was
well.
convinced that Jennifer wasn't going to do it.
So yeah, now Jennifer knows the whole backstory of Nicole killing Deimos and Brady blackmailing her to leave town.
Yeah.
And then she wants to tell Eric. She wants to, Horton with a conscience. She wants to tell the truth. However, then Eric's like, oh, hey, why don't we get married?
Yes.
And then she's like, sit down for a minute.
Yes.
But then he leaves her, and she thinks about it, and she's like,
She goes running back to the pub.
Yep. So
Yeah, that
it's
was a
on.
beautiful moment.
Yeah, and
excited
Eric
for
and
that.
Brady officially burying the hatchet and agreeing to
For now.
For now, well, yeah, for now, because
Yeah.
Even Brady's like keeping that secret. So many secrets.
So many
Everybody's
secrets.
keeping it. I need a
was-
flow chart.
I was really, I know, I was hoping one of
I
us
need, like, I'm like, wait,
created a flow chart.
I need to remember.
It didn't happen.
I need to remember who knows what. Because I'm starting to be. Oh right.
Like
she
who's
knew
running that company? Why they're
Oh, and don't
why
get,
they're
yeah,
doing
the
this.
companies.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is Stefan talking? Oh, right. Okay.
Do you just call him Stefan?
Stefan.
How are we going to remember
Stefan.
this?
I don't know.
Stefan.
Y'all just gonna have to put up with me calling him that because my brain just apparently can't handle it. I don't know why.
Do you think Maggie's left Victor yet again? Or is she just storming out and...
I think she's just mad.
I know.
She left
He's
him.
never going to change.
He's
That's
never
the
gonna
thing.
change. We go through this like once every 3 to 6
He's
months.
never going to change.
And she forgives him, and I feel like Maggie, though it bothers her and it makes her angry, she does accept that part about him, and she accepts that it's a part that if I'm loving him, I gotta love all about him.
Can I just say when they were at the restaurant, Victor's at the table, and I saw the rose. This is before Maggie walked in. I saw the rose. I said to Ernie, "Oh no." This is the rose of I've done something wrong. Can you please forgive me? And when she walked in and she saw the rose, she said, "All right, what are you up to?"
it's just
exactly.
I think this is just their pattern,
Yes.
and I don't think it's gonna be broken. I don't think they're gonna break up over it.
No, I don't think so either.
No, so yeah, and then Jennifer at the very end of the week tells Kayla that she knows something.
Yeah, do you think she's going to tell Kayla like the whole kit and caboodle?
I
Or
don't think so.
because they have so much in common, Kayla and Jennifer, in regards to doing things secretly behind the backs of the men that they love,
Right.
because they think it's for their best,
yeah.
for the good, for their good,
Their greater good, yeah.
I really want them to have that confidant moment of Kayla saying, "This is what I did," and Jennifer's like, "Well, this is what I know."
I guess I don't know. It could go either. You know what? I could go either way, because I feel like if Kayla knows, then too many people know. Like, you know what I mean?
But Kayla did say, if you tell me, you understand this isn't strict
Right.
confidence.
She understands it's confidence, like a safety, a bubble.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
So, all right. I feel like there's more details about that storyline we're
there was-
forgetting, but
when Brady confronted them, there was that moment of, Eve looked at Victor, "Are you going to throw me under the bus?"
Oh,
because
yeah.
as of right now, Victor is the only one on Brady's radar.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I love that moment.
So another secret. There's
Another
the other secret.
secret.
Another secret that Eve had something to do with Victor. She didn't facilitate it, but she enlisted Victor's help, so she did have something to do with it. So that's another secret being kept from Brady.
Yeah, there were so many amazing close-ups of Eve just like darting.
And she does
Darting.
like Cassie
Darting.
DePaiva. Cassie DePaiva does that so
Yeah.
well, where she thinks she's busted or she knows she messed up. She's like, oh. She like her face. The acting she does with her face is like spot on.
Yeah, and there
So
was
good.
that moment when Jennifer was trying to explain to her why she felt she needed to be honest with Eric, and Eve was just giving that look like, really?
Horton with a
This is
conscience.
nauseating me, really?
The Horton woman has a conscience, But yeah, that's what makes Jennifer Jennifer.
Do you think Victor's going to throw Eve under the bus?
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't
Maybe.
know.
I mean, I don't know either.
And if he doesn't,
it could go either way. Like, we're at that point where I can't. Usually, I can definitively say like, oh yeah, he's gonna, or yeah, and this time I'm like, I don't know.
And the writing's so good.
Yeah.
Because usually
Because it literally left us, the cliffhanger, it
Yeah.
literally left us hanging. They did a cliffhanger, I think, every episode this week that made, that stopped on a moment where you're like, are they going to say this? Are they going to do that? And you have to,
the proverbial
wait till the next...
scratch of the head. Like,
yeah, exactly. All righty. So, okay, let's move on to Chad, Abigail, Stefan, Gabi, Kate, with some JJ and
with
Jennifer mixed in.
parentheses, JJ and Jennifer.
Yeah, because
yes.
everybody's involved. Like everybody's involved with every storyline now. It's like hard to.
It's not so black and white anymore.
No, it's not. It's
right?
not easy to differentiate storylines
Yeah.
just by character because everybody's bouncing around and there's hands in all of the storyline pie, so to speak.
It used to be easy to take notes because
Right.
I would just do it according to the characters.
Yeah,
story.
my notes are a mess, and that's why I'm losing my train of
But now everyone, I read seriously.
be
My
better
notes
about
are
it.
like arrows pointing here and arrows pointing there. But starting with Chad and Abigail, I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come around and at least say.
I think he's forcing
"I'll
himself.
try."
He's forcing himself to come around.
And he said, what kind of man would I be? What kind
Mm-hmm.
of husband would I be? I love you, so I will try.
Yeah.
So that broke my heart. I mean, in a good way. Whether or not he's going to be able to do it. Because the thing is, Stefan is just going to keep,
Yeah.
inserting that knife deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be easy.
I honestly like when they brought up like the last week of her possibly having the abortion. I started thinking like what kind like not that I wanted the character to have an abortion, but if they went that route and she actually did go through it without knowing, and then later on like the potential for like some great drama and performances would have been like off the charts.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she didn't because
I am
then
too. That would have been
Chabby needs their happy not their happy ending, but their
Right.
happiness, and so it'll eventually come out that Stefan is the father. We just have to wait and we have to put
That
up
Chad
with
is-
them.
that Chad is the father.
Chad is the father.
Yes.
My apology. See, I'm getting messed up
That's
myself.
a Freudian slip. You really want Stefan to be the father.
No, I don't.
That's
Oh
what
no,
you're
I
saying.
don't. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. Tammy Govea. Don't put words in my mouth, Tamala. Anyway, back to the storyline. No, but Chad's forcing himself to be trying to be the good guy
Yeah.
and do right by his lady, and you can tell it's a struggle for him. And they had that intense scene, Abigail and Chad, and
You know what I loved about that moment between them is, I want to say Abigail, but it was also Marcy. She never backed down from her decision.
no,
She is coming from a place of conviction.
Mm-hmm.
She knows and she feels like she's doing the right thing.
because it's sorry.
No, you're right.
Well, no, because she's like her explanation is like she apologizes for the actions that she's apologizing for her actions when she had the DID, even though not she was sick, not technically her fault. She's still apologetic, which I find like that's very big of the character because someone else could just be like, well, one me, I ain't apologizing, but she does feel like this baby, even though it was conceived under what do you want to call
duress
it?
or false.
Yeah. Or she thinks it was conceived. It wasn't actually conceived under the false we have to remember that.
Right.
They're operating off of false information, but she feels that this baby is a part of her, and that's why she's standing by her decision to keep it.
Accepting the consequences. She said this is part of the whole integration.
Yeah.
It's
It's rough.
It's
well,
rough.
It'll
It's
get
really
there.
rough.
It'll get. I have all the confidence in the world that the writers are going to eventually do the right thing. They always do. It's a matter of watching it unfold because then we have Gabi running around town.
literally running into JJ.
Literally running into JJ
and not
in his
breaking a sweat.
shorts.
She looks absolutely flawless. JJ's all like sweating, his hair is plastered, and
Can't find his keys.
Camilla
The man's
looks
a mess.
amazing.
The man was a mess that day. JJ got his job back.
Yes.
Good for him.
Yes.
Yay. That was part of the him and
Yeah.
Gabi having their heart to heart, and then Gabi comes across Kate.
So fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And, I go back, I harken back to when Sammy, Kate, and Gabby
Oh, yeah.
were working together.
Well,
to
and see,
take
and so
that whole
there's
thing.
already somewhat of a trust built up
Yes.
between Gabi and Kate
Yes.
because of what happened
Yes.
with the they helped each other bury what they thought was a dead body Surprise, wasn't a dead body. But so there's already like a camaraderie, I think, built up between them. So I think it's very natural for them. They have a common interest.
They know each other.
Somewhat of a common interest because, you know, we went through the whole thing where Stefan was like, what do you have for me? And Kate's like, nothing. I'm not going to help you destroy Chad. And he's like, okay, well, then I'm going to destroy you. And so she's like, So then Chad is like, here, look at my plans for Titan. That? And she's like, don't.
And it was interesting because literally, physically, her back was...
She's like, don't show me that.
And she's having a conversation with Chad like this. You know, he's here with the laptop, and she's, we don't need to be having this conversation. I was laughing out loud. She
was
like,
trying
if I don't know,
I can't tell Stefan. And then she, you know, Kate is one of those characters. She goes to number one.
Do you always have a flash drive in your back pocket? I was cracking up.
No, actually,
when she pulled that out of her purse. Like, really?
Well, she's a businesswoman. I know. Businesswomen carry business supplies. Yep, she's prepared.
She's prepared for opportunities.
So, conveniently, Chad gets a phone call, steps outside, and she's like...
She had to do it. There was no question in my mind.
I know.
It's like, she's always going to look out for herself, and I get it. And
that was very true to the character. And then she takes the drive to Stefan, tells him to choke on it. I laughed out loud. I was like, that's great.
And I love that moment between Kate and Gabi when they both know that what they're doing to Chad is absolutely wrong.
Right.
But in the bigger picture, he's collateral damage.
She even
used the word collateral damage.
Gabi used it, right?
I'll take that.
Girl, you fabulous like Gabi, so, you know, it's fine.
My ponytail.
So, let's show a clip. We have a clip from this scene.
With the agreement.
Yes. Two badass bitches.
I have no interest in punishing Abigail and Chad.
But you're gonna.
Okay. But you do want to destroy Stefan?
Yep.
I could get close to him. He'd never suspect that we're working together. You'll help me neutralize Stefan. And run him straight.
That was so Lifetime right there.
That son of a bitch won't stand a chance against us.
Right? Okay.
Let's do this, girl.
And then the handshake.
You have a deal.
Yes! Bravo, ladies! Bravo! Oh my God, that's so good!
That was good.
That's fantastic.
They are going to rule that town.
I'm so excited.
And you know what? So remember last week when it was towards the end of the week, Gabi kind of threw herself after all of her martinis or whatever she was drinking. She kind of threw herself on Chad. They didn't pick up on that.
Right. I'm glad. Yeah.
But there was a mention, I think, during that the scene between Kate and Gabi. Kate asked, "Is like, are you sure you don't want Chad back?" And she was like, "No, I don't want." So now it's like, okay, maybe she doesn't actually want Chad back. She's just creating this. It was kind of made clear this week what her end game is. She's creating this situation to destroy Stefan and
Abigail
and somewhat and Abigail.
Yeah.
It kind of became clear that she does blame Abigail for what happened.
She wants to destroy Stefan, and she wants to hurt Abigail.
And like she said, Chad's just,
collateral damage.
The poor sap, collateral damage. So, but
wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. It'll all work out. I have the faith that everything will work out. Something will happen, and they'll need blood, and they'll be like, "Well, this blood doesn't match," and they're like, "Well, wait, why doesn't it match?"
Yeah.
And then someone will have to come forward. Maybe someone who either knows the truth will come forward, or they'll do a blood test, and it'll lead to the reveal that Chad is
the big reveal.
Chad is the actual
daddy.
Yes. All right. So I think that was pretty much it with that.
I think so.
Story wine, and then we have Sin.
Sinners.
It's time for Sin.
It's Sunday Sinners.
Sunday Sinners.
Yes.
Summer of Sin. Summer of Sin Sunday.
Summer of Sin Sundays?
There we go.
Yep,
that works. Okay, so it started the week with Ben showing up at the apartment.
Frying pan to the head.
Claire. And then running to Hope and Rafe being like, he's at the house. You need to come get him. He's at the house.
What did Claire say to Sierra as she's storming out of the apartment?
You better hide your neckties.
I better have the neckties. Oh my! I felt so bad when she said that.
Oh, poor Ben. He's trying his best, and just and he takes it in stride. You know, he
takes it.
He's been,
he doesn't have much of a choice.
He doesn't, and I think he realizes that. So he's just like, yeah, head to the frying pan, or frying pan to the head.
And you know what I love about Victoria's performance, and what she's created with Ciara is when she opens the door and Ben's at the door, there is this hesitation. There is that.
There's a little bit, yeah.
There's that inner
she's playing that well,
story of, I don't know if I can trust him. I want to trust him, but I know that I can't. But I think he's a good guy, and there's all this emotional stuff that's going on in her eyes, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The performance is absolutely amazing. And when he walked on in, and Claire comes out, and it was fantastic.
Claire needs to calm down. Like,
I can't blame her though. I can't blame her.
I know, but come on.
Seriously, I can't blame her.
But the frying pan to the head thing was so like Looney Tunes.
But this was her first introduction to Ben.
Right.
Like every time he has a first with somebody in Salem, he's either gonna be tackled to the ground, he's gonna be knocked in the head with a frying pan. Right. It's going to be that
bonked on the head with a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to think if everybody's run into him for the first time at this point, or if there's more.
Marlon Wallace in the chat room, because Ben doesn't have a job, he doesn't have money.
I know, he doesn't play.
Who's gonna hire him? Who do we think in Salem is gonna hire him?
I don't know, but I did have a question when it was Hope and Ciara they're at the apartment by themselves, and Hope says to her, "You have to promise me you will never let him back here again. You have to promise me." And they did the little pinky swear, and Ciara paused, and then she said, "I promise you he will never be back here again." My thought is, she going to get an apartment for him?
Probably. She's got that
She's
trust
going to do
fund.
something. So she's going to hold to her promise. Okay, Mom, I
So
can promise you.
Yeah.
She's not going to move in with him. I thought, oh my gosh, are they going to move in
Right.
together? I don't think she's going to do that.
Right.
But that was a good moment. It's like, there's
And then
something.
before that, Hope coming in guns a-blazing. And
I loved it.
I'm like, girl.
She's storming the room.
Oh my Lord.
And Rafe going, okay, simmer down. Like, put the gun down.
I know.
Simmer down.
Rafe being the voice of reason.
Again.
He's just like, all right, just chill.
And
But still being very protective. Like, you felt bad when Ben was like getting up and he couldn't walk straight, and they're like, get out. Come on. But then Rafe did have like a moment where he showed that he did have a heart, where he's like, hey, at least he gave Ben like somewhere to go, the homeless shelter. But then he was like, but don't go near these people.
Yeah.
Don't go near Will. Don't go near Abigail. Don't go near Ciara.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's where that storyline kind of ended.
He made it very clear.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Also involved with that was Lonnie and Eli back on the job. So they're going to try to help find evidence for who started the fire.
And I felt so bad. Rafe is convinced it was Ben, and now he's convinced Eli that it's Ben, and Eli's all right, we'll get that son of a bitch. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So we'll see.
It was good.
I'm interested in what everybody out there thinks. Like, how did the fire start? Was it just an accident?
Okay, so that's
did
the
someone
question.
Deliberately? Because we have our own,
Folks in the chat room,
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
engage, because we want to know, who do you think started the fire, or what started the fire?
Right.
It may not necessarily be a who.
No, it could have been a what? Because he
Could
was
have been
cooking
a
in
what.
there.
It was a squirrel.
A squirrel.
It was a squirrel.
An evil squirrel with an axe to grind.
A hungry squirrel.
Did Ben kill his mama? Was it Bambi?
I don't know.
Was it Bambi?
And it wasn't a what, because they would have fallen like, okay, it was a faulty wire. It was
Right.
definitely a who. So, whoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So, all right, but we are still on the sin train. So hopefully they will, hopefully they'll get their not get their act together. They have their act together. Hopefully
Yeah.
everyone will kind of like simmer down a little bit, like you said, and yeah. So, all right,
Okay.
Gonna take a break.
I had like 100 million thoughts in my brain, which is
I
why
know,
it's
right?
like,
All right, we're gonna turn over to Tammy for a little Afterbuzz business.
yes. So,
Yes.
want to make sure that everyone is aware that here at Afterbuzz, we produce after shows for nearly all of your favorite shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and a whole lot more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans. In fact, there's no network like Afterbuzz TV. So,
Nope.
But now we do need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Subscribing to our YouTube channels will help you discover new shows that we're pretty sure you're going to love. Since you're already tuned into Drama Channel, which is Dish and Days, is under the Drama Channel, you might also be interested in shows like Queen of the South, Black Mirror, The Affair, and The Bold Type. There's a whole bunch of dramas, so make sure and check them out. And remember, we have channels for other genres as well, so please don't be shy about subscribing to them. Now, when you subscribe, there's that little bell, right? It's the bell icon that activates when you subscribe. And also, if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because that's also an optional option. Does that make sense?
Optional option, yeah.
It's easy. Hit that subscribe button now for an even easier AfterBuzz experience, and if you let us know you did, in the comments, we'll thank you on the air. Thanks for being the best fans. We promise to continue to do our best to serve you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
Havoc 6280 has a theory about how the fire started.
The fire? Okay, what's the theory?
Marlena became possessed again. And
Oh, no! I love
the
that!
cabin.
I love it!
You know what bothers me?
I love that.
Marlena can never do anything like anything remotely salacious or bad without it being like, oh, she's possessed by the devil,
Demonic.
or
Well, you know,
she's
because
being
that's
drugged.
not her. That's not who she is.
I know.
Yeah,
Very
that's not her core.
I know, but you know, let you know, they had, in order to give like Marlena the edge, they had to create the character of
Not Kristen. Oh,
the twin.
yeah, the
twin.
Yeah,
Why is her name escaping me
I want to say
right
Bonnie,
now?
but that's the other
No,
twin.
that's the other
I know.
twin.
Come on, fans. Who's Marlena's doppelganger? Come on.
Anyway,
Come on.
you know who we're talking about.
Well, you know, she pushed Kristen out of the window.
Right.
That's as badass as she's gonna be. Hattie.
They had to. That was
Hattie.
like
McDaniel?
that was like the way to have an edge. They created a new character because
Yeah.
God forbid Dr. Marlena Saint Marlena can do anything bad. That always bugged me.
Well, it's like Jennifer, too.
I'm like, let Marlena have. But see, Jennifer
Jennifer
different.
had the addiction. They gave her that
Jennifer
story.
had the addiction,
Yeah.
but Jennifer's just like badass sometimes. You know, she may not be doing something bad, but when she's ferocious, like Mama Bear Jennifer,
Yeah.
I think that kind of gives her an edge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, to continue our rundown of storylines, we have some tidbits.
Starting with Kayla, Steve, and Adrian.
Kayla and Steve.
I just love the brother-sister relationship.
I know.
between the two
Like
of them.
she was like, he was like, that blouse is blinding me.
Seriously, I was like, really, Steve? Really? She looks amazing. Really?
He does that. I've noticed, and I wonder if it's scripted or if it's ad libbed.
Right?
When Stephen Nichols and Judy Evans are in a scene together,
That's a good question.
He manages to jab her a little bit. Like there was one time months ago where she showed up. They were in the square.
In the square,
and
yeah.
he called her Bonnie, and they were like, "Oh, you stop it." And you know, it's like those little jabs. It's cute.
So
It's
Judy,
funny.
Stephen, if this is improvised, give us some inside scoop here.
Yeah.
Is it
Give us
improvised?
some dish.
Give us some dish.
Give us some dish that we can dish on Dish and Days.
So my
please.
question really is, what's up with this Bonnie Lockhart investigation that she wants him to do? Like, what is that?
She hasn't paid for what she did.
But okay, the storyline's got to go somewhere other than that.
Well,
Right?
because we know that Farrah Fath, I can't remember I don't remember her new last name.
one
Farrah
you
Fath,
love, yeah.
Mimi is coming back. So this
And
this
what's
is leading
what's
to that.
the connection? What is she playing?
Bonnie is Mimi's mother.
Bonnie.
Bonnie and Mimi are mother and daughter.
Okay.
So I think it's leading. I
Okay.
think they're. I don't know. 'Cause we know Mimi's coming back, so maybe they're gonna bring Bonnie back into the fold at some point. So I mean, I don't know the actual end game of the story. This is just the beginning of. It's been kind of quiet. They had the story where Bonnie successfully put Adrian in jail, and Adrian was in jail for a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
So if I were Adrian, I would want to be like, you know what, that girl's been on the run a little too long for my taste. Get her butt back here,
Yeah.
and
Justice needs to be served.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that they're revisiting that and
Yeah, me
not
too.
letting it just kind of die and go off and not re-mention
Yeah,
it again.
I'm curious.
And then it ended the week with Steve got a tip about Bonnie. We don't know what the tip is.
We don't know what that is.
Don't know what the tip
Yeah,
is.
but I'm glad they've, he's busy. He's back on the trail doing his
Right.
thing, and
Right.
it's
He
gonna
got
be
that
good.
eye. He was out of prison, out of hospital, like right away, back in action, black patch, back in action, drinking again.
Drinking again.
At the pub.
Taking shots.
Taking shots, like you do. So yeah, and there was a conversation I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
Between Kayla and Steve.
Okay.
And I don't know. There was also something I haven't brought up yet. I feel like there was either some of the things could be taken as foreshadowing, or like being brought up to remind us of something and why they were reminding us of something. There was a conversation between Steve and Kayla that Tripp was a troubled young man.
Right.
And they've done a very good job of writing Tripp now in a way where we forget that, he held Kayla at scalpel point.
Yes.
And, when he found, the whole thing, his point of coming back to Salem was to get vengeance for his mother's death. He knew that, he found out that Kayla and Joey and Steve had their hands in it. And so that was going to be his, revenge. And now he's good old boy Tripp. So they were reminding us of that. And I'm curious if that was intentional.
Yes.
If there's a reason for that, what that reason is. I don't know.
I agree.
Just a curiosity.
That moment happened so quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but I did have a thought in my brain of why did that even get brought up?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, we'll see. I don't want to see Tripp go down the dark road.
No, I don't. I like good Tripp.
I like good
And maybe that's
Tripp.
why they changed his hair. Maybe they gave him a less clean cut hairdo
to make him more
to make him a little more gruff.
Yeah.
Gruff is the word I'll use.
That's a good word.
Even though we loved how, oh man, yeah, I'm remembering it right now. So yeah. Okay, so Steve and Kayla, and then as we mentioned before, Kayla and Jennifer had their moment at the end where they may be exchanging secrets.
Yes.
Because then Kayla, in the back of her mind, is always what she did to help get the eye, and it's brought up. And Mary Beth Evans is another one. Her face, you can almost see the guilt about
Constantly.
it. Yeah, and she plays it very well.
And every time she sees Stefan approaching them, you can just see her whole body tighten up.
Yeah.
And bracing herself.
Yeah, and luckily she's done it in a way that no one's noticed. Why do you look like that?
Yeah. Well, Steve can see now, so
Yeah.
she's got to hide it a little bit better because you can just see it all over her face.
Right.
How bad she feels.
All right. Moving on, we have more build up to the John Marlena wedding of the summer.
And so Sammy, where's
Yeah,
Sammy? Why hasn't she RSVP?
Well, and we know that it's already been confirmed that Ali Sweeney's coming back as Sammy.
Yeah.
So, but why this? Oh, where is she? She hasn't RSVP'd, and then I got very confused because Marlena's iPad dinged, and she goes, "Oh, everybody's RSVP'd to the wedding," and I'm like, "Oh, so Sammy did." But then she keeps saying, "I don't know if Sammy's coming to the wedding." So I'm like, "So not everybody's RSVP'd, Marlena. Don't be making false."
Right. It's everybody at this point except Sammy.
Right. And so I feel like this wedding is going to be pretty epic. I feel like it's going to not take over the show, but it's going to be the central point of the show for multiple, like a week or so. I think it's going to be, because that's what happened last year kind of with the double wedding. Things were just happening kind of around it, but it was the big to do that week.
Whenever there's a wedding in a soap opera, something's going to go down.
I know.
Something epic is going to go down.
Here's the thing. I want John and Marlena at the ceremony. I want the ceremony to go off
peacefully
without
and
a hitch.
seamlessly
I
because
want
they
it to
deserve
just
it.
be a lovely wedding because I can't deal with their on and off crap anymore. It's been 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Let them get married. Let it be official. Let it be real.
Even
let
if it's
there
for
be
a second. They get married, it's done, and
Right.
then
the reception.
Who knows what's
let
who knows what's gonna show
whatever
up.
is going to go down. We're assuming something's going to go down. Let whatever is going to go down during the reception. Let them at least be married so they
Have
can
a
handle
toast.
whatever happens at the reception together.
Yes.
There may have been some foreshadowing because somebody's name was brought up in John and Marlena's conversation, and I know it can't be just a coincidence.
No,
and they
Kristen.
mentioned Kristen
I
DiMeras.
know.
They didn't find her body.
If someone said, "Okay, Tammy, you are now going to be a sociopath and absolutely stunning. Who do you want to be?" I'm like, Kristen DiMeras.
Kristen
I want to be
DiMeras.
Kristen DiMeras.
I would have a dilemma because I would toe the line. Would I want to be Kate or would I want to be Kristen?
No, if I'm going to be evil,
Yeah.
Kate has a conscience.
I always wanted. Kate does have a
Kristen's a
conscience to a
sociopath.
point.
She's a
but
sociopath.
I always wanted.
And I love her.
I always wanted Kate and Kristen to be in a storyline, and they weren't. They had scenes together,
Have
but they were
never
never.
been in a
They've never.
storyline?
They've been in scenes together, but their storylines never really intersected.
Right.
And I remember
Ooh.
Eileen Davidson made a comment when she came back one of the first times, and she said she really wanted to work with Lauren Koslow because they knew each other way back when they were on The Young and the Restless together. So I always thought that would have been a good storyline. Never happened.
Okay, Ron, we're throwing that out there.
Ron.
Hello, make it happen. Make it happen while you can.
Ron. Okay, so yes, the more build up to the wedding. There was there was a lot of one thing I noticed this week because the John Paul scene where
let's get back really quickly, but
Okay.
for
Go for it.
John and Marlena, when we were talking about epic topics, Drake Hodgeston shirtless.
Hogiston.
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 Hogiston. Drake Hogiston. Hello.
Still looks good.
Hello.
Still looks good. Yeah.
He had me
I wouldn't
at,
say no.
At, I don't know.
I'd say okay.
Breakfast in bed.
Let's go.
Wow. So
Yeah.
throwing it
Breakfast
out there.
in bed. Tamala.
I'm telling you.
It's getting
Woo.
fan this woman. Give her a cool glass of water. But no, they also had some parental scene, like one-on-one parental scenes. There was the scene with Marlena and Eric.
Yeah.
The scene,
That was
and then
so
the scene
sweet,
with John and
yeah.
Paul. John wants Paul to do a reading. There were some jokes made about he's like, yeah, your vows are really good. He's like, oh, you mean at the wedding where I was left at the altar? Yeah, thanks.
Like,
and
oops.
then he's like, but they were good vows.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's nice that's what this wedding is going to be epic.
I know.
I'm really looking. The good thing about Days is they don't do weddings that often anymore, and so now when they do one,
Yeah.
it's like I look forward.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, oh my god. There was a period of time where it was just like wedding after wedding after wedding after wedding. Everyone was getting married, and it kind of took the zhuzh out of the soap opera wedding.
Yeah,
you know?
you start taking it for granted.
Right.
And
Or then they would be like really lackluster. Like they would be engaged and then 3 weeks later they were having a wedding like a wedding like at the pub or something. And I'm really hoping that they do a church, like they make the effort, they put up the St. Luke set because I feel like a wedding is not a wedding, and this isn't a religious thing, like, but a wedding, I want to see a soap wedding in a church. Like there's something about
someone
that.
tweeted the location.
Yeah.
I don't think it's at St. Luke's.
Oh.
I think it's at the Square.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. There's just something about that setting that makes it all the more
Wedding-ish.
exciting, wedding-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another tidbit: Sonny, Paul, and Ted. This
I'm
whole
glad they
Murder She
revealed.
Wrote-esque story.
I'm glad it was revealed.
This is going really quick.
You know?
They're not dragging this out. They're
No.
kind of doing it kind of quickly. We did not pick up on last week when Paul walked in on Sonny and Will at the pub. We didn't pick up on that. It was brought up in the morning when Paul brought
The scones
Paul brought
and
the scones
the iced
and the cafe lattes or whatever.
Caramel cafe lattes.
And then Sonny has another one-on-one parental scene with Sonny and Adrian.
Yeah.
And they get the bill, and there's another letter.
And I was laughing out loud because the letters, the cutout letters, are getting larger and larger. Like, this
Are they?
is ridiculous.
I haven't noticed that.
Oh my god.
But I like
You can see it from across the square.
Well, and this is one of those things. I'm like, and they started doing this. I think the Sonny read it out loud, because like when I'm sitting there, I'm like, what does that say? Okay, what Sonny? And then I have to pause it and try to read. And so I'm glad that they're like reciting what the letter says, so that dum-dums like me can like, oh, that's what they're saying. That's what it says. So yeah, and then at the very end, we see Ted approach Paul and Sonny and say
verbatim
what the letter says.
said.
So then they're like, oh, you. So that is to be continued next week. We'll figure out what Ted's up to.
Yeah.
I have my theories. I don't think they're correct, but I have my theories. And then we mentioned earlier Lonnie and Eli back to work.
Yeah. I'm so happy that they're giving Eli, Lamone, those moments.
some moments, yeah.
'Cause this is unexpected. Usually those moments are given to the mother, or,
Right.
to
and she
to
did.
the
She had
woman.
her moments,
Oh,
but now,
yeah.
during the catastrophe, I don't want to call it that. but
Tragedy?
During the tragedy.
During the tragedy.
That's when they give it to the mom,
Right.
because she's actually going through it, and then the father, the man figure is the comfort.
Yeah.
Now after the aftermath is, she's grieved. Now he has to grieve.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And those unexpected moments. Woo!
Yeah.
That was,
the
that
moan,
was a
moan.
beautiful,
All right.
beautiful moment between them.
All right. So that was this week of Days of Our Lives
Yeah.
in a very large nutshell. So we're going to move on to our segments. As you already know, as I, again, forgot to mention at the top of the show, because whatever. First time leading. Sorry. Tony Moore is not here. He will be back next week. He's still working. Oh, snap. He will have his 3 Snaps award next week, or maybe he'll post it on social. So keep an eye out for that.
miss
We
you,
wish
Tony,
him well.
and they miss
He is
the
here in
snaps.
spirit, of
Yes,
course.
always.
So yeah, and James Lott Jr. still making improvements, and he's
Yes.
watching right now. We love you.
We
love
miss
you, Jay
you.
Mala. I love ya. So 3 Snaps will be next week, and now we will move on to.
Okay, so again, many options, but this week it happened. Melissa Reeves. We never saw the full outfit. Unfortunately, we only had the upper body out, portion of this outfit. So it's actually a jumpsuit. So first of all, kudos to Hair and Makeup for Days, because it's almost like a 60s vibe. The hair, the makeup, it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to give kudos so Richard is the key wardrobe stylist for Days of Our Lives, along with Team Cleo, Kristen, Jamie, and Sarah are also a few of the wardrobe folks. So this is a Diane von Furstenberg jumpsuit. Just a little bit of info. It's crepe and silk material, wide leg cut, full length V-neck, hidden zipper at the back. So thank you, wardrobe folks at Days, for this beautiful jumpsuit.
Yes, and that was that. Yep, there we go.
Oh, Designer Days.
Jennifer Terrell Bellinger in the chat room. Jennifer serves Japanese geisha realness.
There you go.
There you go. Category is Japanese geisha realness.
I'll take that
Category
for 200.
is for 200. Yes. Okay. And now we move on to
Caption that.
Tammy had a funny story where she says her dog turns away from the camera
Yes.
like a diva when she tries to take his picture,
Every time.
and my dog just sits there like is a camera whore.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. Anyway, this week's caption is of.
Such a great photo, by the way.
I love that.
Oh my God.
She's just like really
Love
Chad.
this.
So Chad's having a drink, dealing with his his stuff, and Kate's sitting there, consoling, but still like, oh, I need to help Stefan, so I need to get dirt on him. So this week's caption comes from Taurus Froggy on the Instagram, and it's Chad saying, "So I'll be raising a kid that is Abby's and Stefan's. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit." Wow. Take 2. It's Chad saying, "So I will be raising a kid that's Abby's and Stefan's. Looks like I quit the wrong week to."
It's
Looks
the
like-
wrong week. That's what's wrong
looks
with
like I picked the wrong week to quit. Looks like I
week.
picked the wrong week to quit drinking, and I totally took all of the humor out of that. So that quote. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Comes from the movie Airplane. So that's one of my favorite movies, and so I saw that and I was like, yes, caption that. All right, and that has been. Let's end that part of it now.
Caption that.
All right, and moving on, Tam is going to read.
Dish and Days Fan of the Week. Woo!
Okay, fan of the week is going to. This was Twitter, right? Yeah. This was on Twitter. Stacy at Stacy Texas Girl says, for my 8,000th tweet. I can't wait for when at Mr. Robert Scott and at Victoria Conifel are on Dishin Days, #sin. And then Team Sierra and Ben said, yeah, sinners are waiting. And Stacy replied, when they do appear, it will be Dishin Day's best show.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I'm
Oh my
getting like
gosh.
goosebumps.
I know.
So Stacy, Texas girl, thank you for being...
Thanks, Stacy, Texas girl.
Yes, fan of the week.
Woo!
Dishin Days Fan of the Week. Woo!
Man. Okay. And now we're going to move on to a little news and gossip.
Yes.
Afterbuzz TV News.
Alrighty.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
There's
We had a lot
a
of
lot.
birthdays.
We
It was
did.
like every day there was a birthday.
Yeah.
Not every day, but seemed like a lot. There were several birthdays this week to celebrate. Marcy Miller, Nadia Bjorlin, and Jen Lilly.
Jen Lilly.
all celebrated their special day this week.
And what did you say to Jen? What did you...
I don't want to say it again. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble? All right.
I told Jen
Read
that
the
I
tweet, Jen, if you didn't read it.
For
Michael Maddox.
Yeah, just go on Twitter. You'll find it. We hope they had a good birthday. We wish them the happiest of days and birthdays. that
Look at the
is.
birthday girls. Oh my
Look
God,
at
they
them.
look so
Such
great.
great pictures of them,
Yeah,
right?
beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. Great pictures. Excuse me. Ben will be getting some sisterly love, as it was reported by Soap Opera Digest that Chriselle Hartley will be reprising her role as Jordan, which I am happy about.
I'm very
I
happy
always
about
felt that character did not get justice
Yep.
for her
Wasn't
for what
fleshed
was
out.
wrong, done wrong to her. So I
Yeah.
hope that they make that right. She just started taping, so look for her to be back in Salem after the new year.
Her brother needs her
Yes.
so bad.
She's been Instagramming a lot with Kate Mansky,
Yes,
who we
they're
know
so
is coming
cute.
back as
Yeah.
Abigail. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're friends. All right, and so next Saturday, August 11th, you can meet the cast of Days at the Park Meadow Mall in Denver, Colorado.
Nice.
They will be there from 1 to 4 p.m. There will be a cast autograph signing, followed by a Q&A. Attendees are Nadia Bjorlin, James Reynolds, Freddie Smith, Paul Telfer, Casey Moss, Mabu, Mary Beth Evans. Call her Mabu if you meet her.
Yes, please.
Just say, hey, Mabu. Hey, Mabu. We don't want her to forget us. She won't forget us. But Judy Evans and Sin.
Woohoo!
Sin will be there. This is your chance to meet the couple of the summer,
Yes.
Victoria Conifel and Robert Scott Wilson. For more info, you can follow NBC Days on the Instagram and the Twitter. And lastly, if you haven't done so yet, please head over to our friend Jen Lilly's website, jenlilymusic.com, and sign up for her free email newsletter. Along with exclusive sneak peeks, you'll get pre-sale ticketing info to concerts, special promotions to our online store, and a chance to win an autographed copy of Jen's album. So go on, jenlilymusic.com. You'll get nice little friendly emails. I'm on the list. She sent out
I
a
am
couple.
too. Yeah, me too.
So yeah, you get some free stuff.
So let's take a look at next week's.
Yes, we're gonna take a look at
What's
next
going
week's
on?
promo. What's gonna happen next week?
Oh.
Get out!
Be here. It's bad luck.
She's somewhere between.
Oh, that's not Ben.
I can't stop thinking
That's
about
Ben.
Who's that?
That's Ben and
Oh,
Ciara.
okay.
He fell on top of her. Aren't you jealous?
Look at the dress. Ah! Love that.
He can fall on top of me.
I
anytime.
actually wanted her in
Okay.
I wanted her in an 80s dress with the big. Remember those 80s wedding dresses?
Oh, like the big with the big headdress.
With the veil.
Oh
and-
my gosh.
Oh my God.
I wonder like if actresses now like because those had to be hard to wear, and you had to back then they took a long time to tape those big weddings.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if actresses now are like, thank you the Lord that they're making dresses like simpler and not
Simplified.
like so elaborate.
That-
maybe.
I'd love
But that's a
that.
cute dress. Like
Love that.
Like it's not so simple that you're like, oh, but it's
It's sexy. No, that was a sexy dress. So go Marlena.
okay, sexy.
All right.
Good for him. All right, I think that's our show.
We did it.
We did it. I did it somewhat.
You did.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're
yeah.
no longer a virgin.
I'm no longer for
No.
girl. Let's not go there. Okay, well, so Tammy, where can they find you? Tamala.
Tamala. So you can find me on Twitter at Tammy Govea and on Insta and Facebook Tammy Govea Official.
Check out her videos. She just did some interviews with some pretty big actors.
Yeah.
So yeah, check them out.
you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, or Instagram ML Mattis, Twitter ML Mattis1. Number
All right.
one. All right. And that's our show. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter. Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. The @ is implied. Did I mess that up?
No. It's
Okay.
perfect.
I was like, did I say Twitter twice?
You good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining
guys.
us. Have a
See you
great
next
Sunday. We'll see you
week.
next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.